it's testament to your authenticity that these iconic characters in hip hop revere you and
Mm-hmm.
call you a friend. That that only suggests that from ear to the ground to
Mm-hmm.
breakdancing to emceeing, you were just you were on the right track.
And I'm a student. I'm a student of the game.
Student. It's so important to say. Yes, that's a really important point, um, because you never you never stop learning, do you?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Especially not this. And being active in it still, you
Mm.
I I've learned to be patient and learned to let the things come as they may and work with them to the best of my ability and make it work. And maybe back then I didn't have that same mentality because it was just, we making music, we trying to be nice making the music. Let's go on tour, let's do it. You ain't think about all the other things that come into play of being an
Mm.
artist because you was just doing it.
Yeah.
And later on you gravitate toward the whole package and I'm grateful to be even doing this interview. Still, I'm grateful to still hit the stage. Me and Tame new album coming out soon. Uh,
Ooh, hold
Produced
on,
by Buck
breaks,
Wild.
breaks,
Yep,
breaks.
yep,
What
yep.
did you just say? Hold on, what did you just say? Hold on, hold on. You can't just go bypassing that. Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. New Artifacts album coming out this year.
Have you just seen my
Um,
arms shoot up with goosebumps, man? What the hell's
he was like,
going
hold
on
up. He's like,
here?
hold up. Yeah, produced entirely by Buck Wild DITC.
What?
Yeah, 10 joints. We got a couple of guests on there. I can tell you now, it's gonna be my man Afro is on the joint, and we got Razcast on the joint.
My
So
boy
that's
Razcast.
yes, that's what
Oh,
we have room for on the record. The whole record, though, is me and Tame. A lot of scratching, a lot of bass, a lot of dark DITC-ness. You know what I'm saying? It's
oh,
gonna be
my
something
favorite
that
era,
people
bro.
will want to hear right now. And we was happy to work with Buck on this. Y'all could expect more music with Buck, but this record right here, 10 joints in the chamber, ready to go.
Bringing it back. Bringing it
Yes.
back.
From exactly, and you said it right from the beginning. We bringing it back with a producer that made one of our biggest hits, and we ready to, and we got 10 more in the pocket, ready to go.
Man. Uh, the current climate of
Mm.
emceeing, uh, definitely this feels all of a sudden it's like, yeah, of course. There has to be another Artifacts album.
Yeah, man,
Hello?
we ain't made one in over 25 years, man. So it's
Yeah.
like we was about due. Me and Tame did a lot of solo records and stuff like that. We've been back together
Yeah.
since 2008. We've been back on the road on tour since 2012. And it was a proper time to do this. We got the label Smoke On Records out in Germany,
There you
and
go.
it's soon to be pressed, done, finished. Hopefully, because with all this COVID and everything, yeah, all the dates got pushed back. So I would say hopefully by June that the record will be pressed and ready to go.
That is so sick. That is
Hmm
just that's made my evening, man. Well, your afternoon.
yeah,
That's cold. Oh wow. I mean, where to go from here? What to think about like where oh man. Like again, it just heightens the fact that the longevity of sincerity and or sincerity and authenticity and
hmm
just playing by like you say, you're always a student. Um, and when you're in the album process, or when you're on tour, or when you're having to
hmm
deal with XYZ bullshit, or when you're jet lagged, and you do forget the fundamentals and what brought you in the thing in the first place, and
right.
what it is you're there. It's actually the mission brief is bigger than you and the project is actually is hip hop. That's the mission brief.
And that was the reason why we had to make this album because for all of the people that sat back and watched me and Tame do solo careers, they always wonder like, y'all gonna do another album? Y'all gonna do another album? Oh, y'all gonna do another? Yes, we always said yes. We never said no. We just never knew what the situation was gonna be called for us to do it. But this was the perfect time. Uh, the COVID, you know, I would say didn't stop us from working.
Mm.
It just made us work more. I pretty much said like, this is like, let's get this thing done because
Mm.
we're not going outside no time soon. But let's
Mm.
actually put it together in a way where, let's not rush it because we don't know when we're gonna be able to go back out to do certain shows. But it is certain things we can do. So I said like, let's just still record. and let's act like this nothing's wrong.
Mm.
Because in the recording process, COVID don't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you don't want to date it, do you? You
Nope,
don't want
that's us still having to create. So with knowing that, we just was always, on the level of like, let's give these people what they want. Let's not, we ain't doing nothing too crazy where we like going away from where artifacts came from or
to.
from our last album. Is now this is a whole another addition to the crate with one producer on the whole project that we worked with doing like a few songs with, while I'm doing 10. So now we just gonna see how people feel about hearing their childhood come back to life in a way of where somebody people you familiar names you familiar with, but never had an idea what it would sound like if Artifacts did a whole project with Buck Wild. Now you get to see it.
That's crazy. Buck Wild's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Show from Show and AG as well. I mean, they're from the same camp, aren't they? But the
And
realists,
even
man.
they all have levels of how they sound different, but they
Yeah,
still.
for sure.
But I think what makes that whole crew be DITC is the grit
Yeah.
and the grimy and the dirtiness of and how clean it was still,
Clean.
and it was
Super
so
clean.
dramatic. DITC, if I could say one word to express their sound, is really dramatic.
Yes.
Really dramatic. When you listen to Show and AG records, I could like even their newer records.
Mm.
It got a record called Show and A. And when A is rocking on that, it's like he's compatible to Show. Like it's almost like when you look at Show and the pictures for him, he's like my little dude right here. He getting your ass.
Yeah, you go fuck you. What's it
and,
said?
and,
He's on
and
his own
AG
dick, and even when he's lying on his stomach.
like, yo, look, my man got beats. I will bust your ass on these shits. Like don't take my height for a weakness. I will bust your ass with these big ass words.
Bro,
And that's
realist of the realist, for
Scott
real.
said that's how he knew how he met AG. He's like, yo, who this dude named AG? He sounded like a big dude. When he met him, he was like, oh shit, like, I bet, let's go. My man talking hot shit. And he looked like that. And even when I met him, I told him, I said, dude, like, you're very even and A is a battle dude. Like, that's one thing people gotta understand about AG. AG is a battle dude. Like, his records don't reflect his what's the word I
Stature.
want to say?
Yeah.
It doesn't reflect his
Stature.
battle scars. It doesn't reflect his mode that I've seen him go into a mode, especially when him and Party Artie, when Artie was alive, them dudes was like two animals on the court and just
Really?
eating everybody up on the battle scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I saw A like that, to me, it was like he reinvented himself from a dude that made records to a dude that can make records and battle. And even now to just sit back and make records and be an entrepreneur at the same time. That's just, when I think of Buck and I think about how we got into I even asked, hey, like, yo, how me and Tam get in DITC? We made records with all the producers in DITC. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we do that? He started laughing. I don't know. You got to talk to the show about that.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, there is a real refinement to DITC's
Mm-hmm.
production. Yeah, that's right. And you've you've worked with all
Damn near
you yeah.
only one. Diamond. We did some work with Diamond, but it didn't come out officially. But yeah, that's next. Like, I'm not gonna say that ain't gonna happen because
Okay.
I think that'll probably happen with me and Sadat probably before it happened with me and Tank.
Right. Well, see, I mean, more ears to the ground for the
Yeah,
rest of us.
yeah.
Do you think there's something about? I mean, when you talk about AG yourselves, God, like the '90s um, fraternity. Do you feel
Mm-hmm.
like because like you say, AG yourselves, you're entrepreneurs, you're people that have gone on to do amazing things, but still do music and have
Mm-hmm.
and cross over relationships with, like you say, should Sadat X, you guys doing the album together, then going back to Tame again, and then Buck
Mm-hmm.
Wild, and then Diamond. Like there's so many, like, it goes forever, and it just feels like you've. It's like a fine wine. You guys have just been cutting your teeth, and like this is you're so robust. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of mold to any situation because you've just like had those 10,000 hours.
Right. And that's a good way to look at it because, like you said, it's funny you said that. I said that to my man. I was like, uh, the things that we do like there's no way to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when, you know, a lot of times we get asked, like, how do you stay relevant? Is really yourself. And how do you react to the beats you may get, to what you want to say, what you're doing at the moment that makes you still sound like, or makes me sound like Elder Sensei, it makes Sadat sound like Sadat, and Tame sound like Tame. Beat wise, Buck sound like Buck Wild, but today Buck Wild, and not 90s Buck Wild. So these things we're conscious of when we're making these records today, and we understand that through our track record, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to expect us to probably come, not say the same way, but in the same vein, to not be so far away. So if anything, they would think that, yo, if they sounded like that back then, I can imagine what it would be like today, because we are in 2021. So we would have to think about that as well as artists, writing what we have to write, and as far as, you know, who we're directing our music towards. And that's going to be people like yourself and like me, who pay attention to all the things that we're going to be doing. It's going to be people sitting there analyzing everything. So we know, because we do it when we get the records from the artists that we wait for to put out records. So we damn sure know, you know, it's going to be people that's not just the average listener. It's going to be people that are our peers, as far as MCs, that's going to judge it too, because they're going to know they fans of our music just like we fans of theirs. So we are, trust me, y'all, we know what we know. And y'all ain't, when every song come on, all y'all gotta say is like, oh, I bet y'all better have done that. So we on point with it. So ain't nothing, all bases are covered.
Again, like, I suppose there's certain aspects of what you just said there. You can have tough skin, but you know, like a hip hop audience, they don't play. They tell it like it is.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, and then especially today, because motherfuckers can say what they want. They home with this shit in their hand and on their fingertips. But like, yo, I'm home. I can say what the hell I want to say. I think that's the one thing in the internet that made it so like this, because you could say what the hell you want. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. And it's like, I'm blacking out on you. Where in the past that probably wouldn't happen because you had to be outside. You ain't gonna walk up to a dude and be like, hey, yo, I think you whack, son. You shouldn't make records no more. But that today you can do and not be in somebody's face, and they get their point across, and that's like 1,000,000 million to other people too.
To be fair, I got more respect. I got amples of respect for somebody to come up to Elder Sensei's face and be like, "Yo, guy, I don't like your shit." I would have.
But that's like all. That's why all artists, we came up with that term, internet key thug, and all that shit like that. Because honestly, and that's a lot of people. You would not say half of the shit that you saying online to a person's face, even if they wasn't a star, just a regular person. Like, that's almost like the closest thing you can get to that can road rage.
For real, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only time you can really get out of the car and pop shit to somebody like, yo, you almost ran me over. We're fighting, and you can really, and you got that whole energy, so it's gonna happen. But
they need to do like a catfish for like people that are trolling. There needs to be some sort of catfish program, you know.
And that's the one thing I don't like, because I had some dude hit me up 2 weeks ago talking about, oh, Elder Sensei said the Artifacts album was coming out in the spring. It's already March. I'm like, really, bro? And I commented him back like, yo, okay, so look, the record is still coming out. I can't control delivery and manufacturing and things of the sort. So a lot of my friends see me talk like that. I don't really try to comment on people, but when I saw that, and then he ain't had no page, no face, no picture, no nothing. Then he came back to my man comment and say, yeah, don't worry, the record ain't coming out till 2000 never.
Honestly.
I had to block dude, but I thought it was funny, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't get too much traffic like that. So when I see it, I was just like, whoa, who's this? Oh, that's funny. I said, but like, you know, it's coming, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
hell
you know,
yeah.